सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्या सम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। ॐ सर्वोपप्लवरहितः प्रज्ञानघनः प्रत्यगर्थः ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि। नारायणं पद्मभवं वसिष्ठं शक्तिं च तत्पुत्रपराशरं च व्यासं शुकं गौडपदं महान्तं गोविन्दयोगीन्द्रमथास्य शिष्यं श्रीशङ्कराचार्यमथास्य पद्मपादं च हस्तामलकं च शिष्यं तं तोटकं वार्तिककारमन्यान् अस्मद्गुरून् सन्ततमानतोऽस्मि। ॐ नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। ॐ शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ॐ समस्तब्रह्मविद्या आचार्येभ्यो नमः, ऋषिभ्यो नमः, मुनिभ्यो नमः, गुरुभ्यो नमः, देवताभ्यो नमः, परब्रह्मणे नमः, श्रुतिमात्रे नमः, वेदव्यासवैशम्पायन याज्ञवल्क्यादिगुरुभ्यो नमः, आद्यशङ्करसद्गुरवे नमः, अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। Before we start our today's class, first the chanting of Tritiya Bhruguvalli, as we are doing every day, followed by our study of Upanishad. Today is a most divine, auspicious day. That today is Bhagwan Shri Krishna Janmashtami. Evening we will have the Stotra Puja, Bhajan and all. But now today, let the whole day be soaked in Krishna Tattva, in our devotion and surrender to Him, invoking His grace for giving us as soon as possible the Brahmanubhuti, the Tattvanubhuti, the Mokshanubhuti. If we pray ardently, if Krishna likes our prayers, if He feels like blessing us, nothing is impossible. So let the whole day be in the Krishna Tattva. Sachidananda Rupaya Vishwotpatyadi Hetave Tapatraya Vinashaya Sri Krishnaya Vaya Namaha. This mantra today, as many times as possible, depending on convenience, we can chant. Now we will chant 16 times these two mantras. Sri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare He Nath Narayana Vasudeva, then Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. 16 times we do this, and that will be our prayer to Lord. And while doing the chanting, what we ask is, give us the clarity of this Upanishad Tattva Jnana, O Lord. May we deeply contemplate, meditate, and realize the truth, which is beyond all these seeming names and forms, the projected names and forms. Having this type of deep prayer, and also fulfill our life by making this as your fit instruments in getting the work done as you want in serving the world spiritually. Let us chant Sri Krishna Govinda Hare, then Sri Krishna Sharanam 16 times. Very devotedly remember Krishna Rupa in the heart. If possible, see the Leelas of Krishna right from his birth in the jail till he left this world to Vaikuntha. How gloriously were his Leelas, how dynamic he was. Intact inside in his Brahmanubhuti, outside he played a variety of all Leelas. But no Leela has overpowered him or misguided him or made him forget his essential Sachidananda Swarupa. That life of Krishna is a great prayer for us, great inspiration for us to learn from. Start. ॐ श्रीकृष्णगोविन्द मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्रीकृष्णगोविन्द मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्रीकृष्णगोविन्द मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द 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 मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्रीकृष्ण शरणं मम 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 शरणं मम शरणं मम May Lord Krishna, who is Parabrahma himself, who is Mahanarayana himself, who is eternal present avatar, protect all of us take care of all of us, empower all of us with Shastra Vidya, Tattva Vidya, Atma Vidya, and Brahma Vidya, so that in the experience of that self, we find our own fulfillment, our own moksha. May Lord Krishna bless each and every jiva in the universe in their spiritual evolution. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. In our chanting today, we will be doing our Bhruguvalli, the third one. With all devotion, Shraddha, there is no greater activity than chanting and studying the Upanishad in the entire universe. Such the greatest of the activity we are doing. May we do with the utmost devotion, utmost attentiveness, and more than all of that, the faith that the Upanishad, Vedya, Brahma Vastu itself will bless us in the experience of that Brahma Tattva. The Shruti Mata blesses us. The entire Rishi Parampara who are there behind the revelation of these truths, they all will bless us in our own realization. With this faith, every moment we have to be, especially in the class, while chanting as well as while listening. Let us start. Om Atha Shri Krishna Yajurvedantargata Taittiriya Upanishadaha Parayinam Atha Trutiya Bhruguvalli Om ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः 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 भृगुर्वैवारुणिः वरुणं पितरमुपससार अधीः भगवो ब्रह्मेति तस्मा एतत् प्रोवाच अन्नं प्राणं चक्षुश्रोत्रं मनोवाचमिति तगं होवाच यतो वा इमानि भूतानि जायन्ते येन जातानि जीवन्ति यत्प्रयन्त्यभिसंविशन्ते तद्विजिज्ञासस्व तद्ब्रह्मेति सतपोतप्यत सतपस्तप्त्वा अन्नं ब्रह्मेति व्यजानात् अन्नाद्येव खल्विमानि भूतानि जायन्ते अन्नेन जातानि जीवन्ति अन्नं प्रयन्त्यभिसंविशन्तीति तद्विज्ञाय पुनरेव वरुणं पितरमुपससार अधीः भगवो ब्रह्मेति तगं होवाच तपसा ब्रह्म विजिज्ञासस्व तपो ब्रह्मेति सतपोतप्यत सतपस्तप्त्वा प्राणो ब्रह्मेति व्यजानात् प्राणाद्येव खल्विमानि भूतानि जायन्ते प्राणेन जातानि जीवन्ति प्राणं प्रयन्त्यभिसंविशन्ते ते तद्विज्ञाय पुनरेव वरुणं पितरमुपससार अधीः भगवो ब्रह्मेति तगं होवाच तपसा ब्रह्म विजिज्ञासस्व तपो ब्रह्मेति सतपोतप्यत सतपस्तप्त्वा मनो ब्रह्मेति व्यजानात् मनसो ह्येव खल्विमानि भूतानि जायन्ते मनसा जातानि जीवन्ति मनः प्रयन्त्यभिसंविशन्तीति तद्विज्ञाय पुनरेव वरुणं पितरमुपससार अधीः भगवो ब्रह्मेति तगं होवाच तपसा ब्रह्म विजिज्ञासस्व तपो ब्रह्मेति सतपोतप्यत सतपस्तप्त्वा विज्ञानं ब्रह्मेति व्यजानात् विज्ञानाद्येव खल्विमानि भूतानि जायन्ते विज्ञानेन जातानि जीवन्ति विज्ञानं प्रयन्त्यभिसंविशन्तीति तद्विज्ञाय पुनरेव वरुणं पितरमुपससार अधीहि भगवो ब्रह्मेति तगुंहोवाच तपसा ब्रह्म विजिज्ञासस्व तपो ब्रह्मेति स तपोतप्यत स तपस्तप्त्वा आनन्दो ब्रह्मेति व्यजानात् आनन्दाध्येव खल्विमानि भूतानि जायन्ते आनन्देन जातानि जीवन्ति आनन्दं प्रयन्त्यपि संविशन्तीति सैषा भार्गवी वारुणी विद्या परमे व्योमन् प्रतिष्ठिता य एवं वेद प्रतिष्ठति अन्नवानन्नादो भवति महान् भवति प्रजया पशुभिर्ब्रह्मवर्चसेन महान् कीर्त्या ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ अथ श्रीकृष्णयजुर्वेदान्तर्गत तैत्तिरीय आरण्यकान्तर्गत तैत्तिरीय शाखान्तर्गत तैत्तिरीय उपनिषद ॐ यस्माज्जातं जगत्सर्वं यस्मिन्नेव प्रलीयते येनेदन्धार्यते चैव तस्मै ज्ञानात्मने नमः यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहं तैत्तिरीयकसारस्य मयाचार्यप्रसादतः विस्पष्टार्थरुचीनां हि व्याख्येयं सम्प्रणीयते अथ प्रथमा शिक्षा वल्ली प्रथमोऽनुभागः शान्तिमन्त्रः ॐ शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतो तद्वक्तारमवतो अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम् ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ अथ अष्टमोऽनुवाकः प्रणवोपासनमन्त्राः ॐ ओमिति ब्रह्म ओमितीदं सर्वम् ओमित्येतदनुकृतिः स्म वा अप्यो श्रावयेत्याश्रावयन्ति ओमिति सामानि गायन्ते ओगं शोमिति शस्त्राणि शगंसन्ति ओमित्यध्वर्यो प्रतिगरं प्रतिगृणाति ओमिति ब्रह्मा प्रसौति ओमित्यग्निहोत्रमनुजानाति ओमिति ब्राह्मण प्रवक्ष्यन्नाह ब्रह्मोपाप्नवानेते ब्रह्मैवोपाप्नोति ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. Salutations to the Lord Krishna, to all the lords in all Rupa, to all the Rishi Muni Devatas. Salutations to the Vedavyasa, Vaishampayana, Yagnavalkya, Adya Shankara Rishis, who are the Guru Parambara of this Taittiriya Upanishad for all of us. We are seeing from last 2 days the summary of what we have studied so far up to 8 Anuvakas. All these 8 Anuvaka, even the 9th one, talk about the Upasana. Upasana means consciously, deliberately, or effortfully, or by habit or nature, going and sitting near something and getting identified with that. This is called as Upasana. So far we have done the Jagad Upasana from so many lives, as a result of which going to the Jagat, being one with the Jagat, identifying with the Jagat of Rupanama has become like the fish to the waters. So natural, so effortless for us, to such an extent that when we are wanting to come out of that, it is becoming impossible, like The fish, it's fluttering when it is taken out of the water. For it, the water is a life. If the fish is taken out of water, as much it flutters and ready to die or dies, so too you and I are soaked in our upasana with the Jagat so much that for us the life is Jagat only. If at all we are pulled out of the Jagatic life, it is like a fish for us that we feel, we think that we cannot live without it. In fact, we even as if die. But then, because the Jagat is Mithya, Jagat is Maya, Jagat is continuously changing, Jagat will enslave us it on the name of giving us Sukha Ananda, it will give us only Dukkha and Moksha, Dukkha and Bandhanam. Therefore, with all these observances, understandings, we have to come to a clarity that we have to change our Upasana from the binding worldliness to the liberating Parabrahma Tattva. Therefore, what is the spiritual journey? Shifting our attention from the Jagad Upasana to the Brahma Upasana. But straight away, can we do the Brahma Upasana, Aham Brahmasmi, without the qualifications, without the readiness, without all the abilities inside? We cannot. Therefore, those abilities, qualifications, we have to develop in us. Therefore, in between, as for us to pull ourselves from Jagad Upasana to the Brahma Upasana, we are given another Upasana in between called as the Ishvara Upasana. In the Pauranika Kala, the Ishvaras in the form of Shiva or Rama or Krishna or all this. Before that, it was Upasana of Mahad Brahma, it was Upasana of Aditya, Varuna, Agni, Vayu. In this way, throughout our history of spirituality of all our Shastras from the Vedic onwards, we are in between given this practice of Upasana of something beyond higher called as Paramatma for pulling us away from the Jagad Upasana, making us qualified for the Brahma Upasana. Nowhere in our throughout life's thought, not even once we should forget that only through Brahma Anubhuti there is moksha, there is no other way. That should never be forgotten. That should never be, what I say, whether you understand or not, practice or not, it should never be given lesser value. The ultimate is that. But right now we are in the Jagadopasana. From here to go to Brahmopasana, in between we are given the Ishwaropasana, or here we are seeing the Mahad Brahma Upasana from the third Anuvaka onwards. Now, in the latest one, in the eighth Anuvaka, that Mahad Brahma as well as Parabrahma, both are symbolized. Both are having given a common alambana called as Om. Therefore, in this eighth Anuvaka, exclusively, completely, beautifully, we are listening, we are trying to understand, we are studying. Later on to start practicing the Omkara Upasana, the Pranava Upasana. Yesterday we saw throughout our discussion and toward the end what is Pranava Upasana is to that extent the Pranava we have to practice, do the Abhyasa that the entire outer world of ours is fully soaked into Pranava, and we ourselves also are soaked into Pranava, and that Pranava being nothing other than Brahma, the very easily later on the Brahma Dhyana, Brahma Anubhuti comes. That's called Pranava Upasana. Like, remember, Rama Upasana is entire our life wherein I, the experiencer, the world experienced. Both are submerged in Rama. Is called as Rama Upasana. राम के पास ले जाकर राम में लय करना. Everything of the name and form of the world, including I, the knower of the world. Krishna Upasana, Shiva Upasana. Clear? Remember that. Upa and Asana. As we have understood in this Saguna Sakara Devata Upasana, here also Om should so much overwhelmingly, overpoweringly take possession of everything of our life that other than the Om, nothing is predominant. Anything to be done, minimum is done, even all that minimum done is soaked in Om Pranava only. And once we are totally into that Omkara Pranava through Upasana, then only one or two more steps remain. What is this Om? It is symbol of what? It represents what? It represents, symbolizes Brahma Tattva. Then how to transcend the Om and reach to Brahma Tattva? That Om, A and U and Ma merge in the silence and reach to Brahma Tattva. It is so effortless gliding into Parabrahma. If through Om Upasana, everything other than Parabrahma and Om, we merged in the Om. That's called Pranava Upasana. Our entire Jagara, Swapna, Sushupti is dissolved in Omkara, is called as Om Upas. Like Hanumanji. For him, Jagara, Swapna, Sushupti is in Ramamayam. For Sita ji, it is Ramamayam. You understand example? For a Kami, the whole Jagara, Swapna, Sushupti is soaked in the Kama Upasana. Therefore, it is Kamamayam. For a Artha Purusharthi, Jagara, Swapna, Sushupti are Arthamaya only. He may be living in the Jagrat world, but his total attention is only in Artha, wealth. If you can understand those examples, what is expected out of us as the Pranava Upasana also the same. And how to do it, why to do it? Because we know the truth is Parabrahma, experience of that is liberation. Right now we are caught up in the world of multiplicity. All this world of multiplicity is nothing but Maya, unreal. Yet we give value, importance, reality to so much that we are lost in that. We have to come out of that. Therefore, we cannot fight with the world. What is the best way? Take the Omkara and dissolve everything in the Omkara. Effortlessly it happens. Then the nature of the Om is inquired, it is found to be Parabrahma, then we discover it as ourself. And the basis of Omkara is what? Omiti Brahma, Omiti Idam Sarvam. Never ever throughout life forget it. Like we say it, Rama himself is Parabrahma, Rama himself is the entire Jagat. Yesterday we saw in Sri Rama Hridayam. How beautiful and what knowledge Lord Rama gave to Lakshmana in the Rama Gita is mind blowing, and I tell you, it is so fantastic and exhaustive. We can see that. We'll see, we'll study. So, like we see, the entire Rama Tattva is Parabrahma and everything is Ramamayam. In the same way, never ever forget this Mahavakya. If you want a substantial, solid Upasana Alambana, it is Om. If you want to do the upasana of the Om, through that we want to dissolve everything, and with the Om as alambana we want to enter into Parabrahmanubhuti. Right from day one beginning till the last step is reached, what we always have to remember is Om iti Brahma, Om iti idam sarvam. Through the Shastra quotations, we proved it so many times. Through the logical explanation also, we proved it so many times. Now, with these two as the basis, at the time of practice, we have to have faith that the Om is Shabda Rupa Brahma. Brahma is beyond all the Nama Rupa Shabda. Okay, that is our goal. But right now, that Brahman alone, as he is expressing as this world, expressing means we are imagining the entire world on the Brahma. In the same way, the Om also, the expression of Parabrahma, though every word is expression of Parabrahma, every Rupa is expression of Parabrahma, yet among all of them, to reach to Parabrahma, to dissolve the entire world, we, because the Shastras taught us, we, because the Gurus have told us, have chosen Om to be our Alambana. Therefore, Om is Parabrahma for me. Like I want to do the Upasana of the Lord. I am given by my Lord, my Guru, or I liked Rama or Krishna. Now, the Rama or Krishna became God to me. I worship through them the Paramatma. So, Rama is a Rupa, Rama is a Nama representing Paramatma. This through Rama, we reach to that which Rama Rupa, Rama Nama symbolizes or expresses. Is it not? We are not worshipping the Rupa of Rama, though it is Divya. We are not worshipping Nama of the Rama, though it is Divya. Divya Rupa, Divya Nama of the Rama is worshipped in the beginning for focus and faith and Shraddha. Later on, that principle which is beyond behind the Rama, the Tattva of Rama, that will be our later on worship. If you understand that example, these are all later on developed in the Vedic Kala. It is Om iti Brahma, Om iti Idagam Sarvam. Now connect this with what we have studied about the Omkara in Mandukya Upanishad also in various places. It is to be kept in the heart in a simple manner like this. What is that? Parabrahma, please remember, expressed as Om. Listen carefully. Then Om expressed as the entire world of names and forms in which we are caught up. Now, what is sadhana? Dissolve the entire name and form in the Om. With the help of the Om, reach Parabrahma. How much deeply, logically you understand this, that slowly will be developed. As much you get Sattva Guna, as much you personally involve your own study, and you are keeping on in your contemplative mood without living consistently, you are listening to Shastra. According to that, the depth of the understanding, the clarity of the understanding comes. That is later. But right now, from Parabrahma, the Om came. From the Om, the entire world of names and forms came. In which we are caught up that we have forgotten our Parabrahma Mukta Sthiti. Caught up in the name and form, as a Jiva, we are suffering. Name and form means the entire world of Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, and the total gross, subtle, causal, individual, total worlds. All of them are forms. All of them are nothing but names. All the names and forms are nothing but the outcome of the Om only. How much are they appear to be real, solid, substantial, yet they are all have come from Om Pranava. The Amatra only became the Stula Jagra Jagat. The Umatra only became the Sukshma, the Karana, the Antar Jagat, Swapna Jagat. Then the Mamatra only became the Kajal, the Nidra Avastha, in which we are all. So the reverse may, we are through the Upasana of Om, merging all the Rupanama or Jagrat, Swapna, Supsti or everything else into Om. This practice is called Upasana of Om. In that, what is very important? Whatever the minimum activities we have to do as Dharma or any of the Yajnaga, we do that. We will never go beyond that. Going beyond is becoming victimized by the raga, the dvesha, the projection of the mind, the fancying of the mind, the imagination of the mind, the desire of the mind, which is endless. Because of we are caught up in that only, life after the life, life after the life, life after the life, we are not able to do our spiritual sadhana to reach to our goal. So in this very life, other than our minimum dharma of yajna or whatever, we are not going to live or do anything else. With that strictest decision, point one, we do only what we are supposed to do. While doing all that which is inevitable, we have to do the pranava upasana. That pranava upasana is what we are studying yesterday. We saw that anything we start doing, understand that the ओम से ही वो कर्म आया है, ओम से ही वो कर्म का विधान आया है, ओम से ही मैं भी निकला हूँ, ये ओम के आदेश से ही मैं वो सब कर रहा हूँ. Or throughout the happening of everything, the Om is permeated in that. In the conclusion of the activity, everything we offer back to Om only. Without involving in all of them, if you can directly do all the time the Om Upasana, you are at the higher level. But because of some compulsions, obligations, duties, when you have to involve in the world, it has always tendency of creating impressions in us, making us forget our Parabrahma Tattva and Omkara. Therefore, what we do, inevitable activities of Yajnayaga we do, but the conscious sadhana called as Upasana, we don't forget. And what is that? From the Om, everything came. In the Om, everything is sustaining. Into Om, everything is going. In this way, We have to dissolve ourselves in Omkar. Our entire life activity should be in Om. That is called Upasana. Upasana, in the beginning, it is 5 minutes or 10 minutes of chanting. Later on, it is 1 hour. After that, it is 2 hours. After that, it is morning, afternoon, 3 evening, do gante. But at this highest level, 24 hours we are in the Upasana. In such a way that the Kala, the Desha, the Vyaktitva, the Vishwa, all of them are secondary. Om or the Upasya is primary. Unless this is achieved, where the multiplicity is dissolved in one common denominator, the substratum of that one common called Parabrahma, it will not be easier to comprehend, understand, try to reach out and reach out. If you are always giving value importance to the dualities, as I told just now, for millions and millions of lives, we'll be born, we'll die in between birth and death. What at the most we do is involve in only in this multiplicity, just like in this life we have done right from birth till now. This is called samsara. So catch the crux of the upasana, any of the upasana, especially the pranava. The Om Upasana means everything is dissolved in Om. When the yajna is there, everything is coming from Om, being done by Om, offered back to Om. When the yajna karma is not there, where is your mind? What are you doing? Nothing other than Om, 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 Om. Thus, as I told, our Desha, our Kala, our Vyaktitva, our Antakarana, all our Indriyas should become Omamaya. Like Rama Bhakta Kale, Sarvam Ramamayam. Krishna Bhakta, Sarvam Krishnamayam Jagatu. Krishna Upasana comes as done. So much he did Krishna Upasana, everywhere for him Krishna alone was appearing. Especially when the news of his birth was almost coming. Sarvam Krishnamayam Pashyat Drushtavan. That's what comes in Bhagavad. कृष्ण के अलावा कुछ दिख ही नहीं रहता उसको, कुछ भी सपना भी कृष्ण एवरीथिंग. And that is why when he was killed because he was negative and adharmic. But in him the jiva who did so much of Krishna Upasana merged in Krishna. So too with Shishupala. So to Ravana. What is the meaning there? You understand that the inside the smarana of the Lord was going on so much that when they left body, the jiva in them had to merge. That's the power of Upasana. They have done it. You and I, what are we doing now? We are erratic. We are uncontrolled about our day. We are uncontrolled about our faculties. We are never aware of our mind, where it is running, how it is imagining. Absolutely like a cow or dog which is left on the street, goes and grazes uncontrollably. Is our life today, particularly our antakarana. कुछ भी कभी भी मन में आए करते जा रहे. ना कोई हाथ में हमारा, ना कोई पर्पस है, ना कोई डेफिनेट गोल है, ना कोई डिसिप्लिन है. बस जब उठा तब उठा, जो चाय पिया पिया, जो दिन भर करना था कर दी, जो चाहे सो गए, सुबह उठे. These are all nonsense. Such person is never a sadhak. Sadhaka should take charge of his entire life. In that entire life, he should know the what is the goal he'll have to reach in his identity. And towards that, he'll have to gear up every moment, time, every activity sadhana. He is called sadhaka. And goal is Parabrahma Anubhuti. The immediate means for that goal is what? Upasana. Between the Upasana and Parabrahma, there is finally in the meditation, even the dissolution of the Om of Shabdadi. Beyond that Shabda of the Om we go, the Om as it's in its own substratum, Parabrahma only, that we reach. The dissolution of the Om in Parabrahmanubhuti is the last. But before that, throughout the day, Om Upasana, Om Upasana. और देख के करके देखो, when everything is dissolved in the Om only is given predominance. Nothing is lost except the disturbance of the mind, except unnecessarily chance given for the mind to think about the things and beings and go on gathering variety of emotions towards them, which was an uncalled for nonsensical samsara. Like I am in class, I am doing my pravachanam. This pravachanam is coming from Om. it will stay in Om. When the class is over, the lecture goes back into Om. Then I put on off the computer and all. Where I will go back into my own pranava, Om, Om, Om. Then what about you? What about you? Why should I think about you or anybody? Why should I imagine? Why should I projection do? What do we do now? Remember, throughout the day, our mind is going on becoming a factory of producing the thoughts of names and forms which have no meaning, which have no purpose, which have no reality. Mind itself is Maya. What to talk about? All the thoughts or emotions or the names and forms which are produced by the mind. This is called delusion. This is called Maya. This is what we never able to understand unless Guru Ishvara Kripa comes. Only after understanding that, then we know the sadhana that we have to start reduce the thought flow of the mana in the form of Rupa Nama. Then we have to slowly dissolve the mana also in the Pranava, Pranava in Aham Brahmanubhuti. This clarity is called the study of Vedanta, study of Upanishads. Then doing that as a practice is Upasana, and that takes us to the nearest stage. Wherein 24 Gante we are in Om, Om is in us. Now I and my Om, both of us finally have to merge in the real I called as Aham Brahmas. Upasana means scattered rays of the mana is brought into single pointedness and are applied to the point of Upasana. That's called Upasana. Is it not? Be clear about it. And never ever have doubt why should I do the Upasana of Om? Because it is given in Vedanta, it is given Upanishad. So all the rishis have recommended us. So while saying it 5-6 times, I am Sanatana Dharmi, I follow the Rishi Parampara, I follow our Shruti, and by my Rishi Parampara and Shruti Mata, Om is proposed for the Upasana Alambana. That is enough for me. Now I have fixed myself by taking Om as Upasya. No doubt beyond that. Now I do Upasana. Like 10 girls, the boy sees, or 5 girls, for his match fixing. होता है कि नहीं? Among them, at one particular point, the parents tell, "Arey, he looks to be suitable to you by all the kundali, etc." Not kundalini. Therefore, she would be. You also look at her once, just to see finally. Say, "Ah, mother, father, I also liked her." And then ask them, liked. उसके बाद क्या? Will you go again and again to see other girls? He is fixed now that she will be his fiancé, whatever you call. In the day of marriage come, they marry, and throughout life they stay. Somewhere you have to stop. You go on throughout life looking at girls, never getting married. Hota nahi. In the same way, my guru told, my Rishi Parampara told, be attentive, my Shastra told, Om is the greatest and bestest and ultimate alambana, beyond which there can be no alambana, both for the Mahat Brahma Upasana, Para Brahma Upasana. Now, with so much of authority, I am quietening my mind's doubts, etc. Intellectually, I am fully convinced that Om is my Upasana alambanam. उसके बाद जिंदगी भर डाउट नहीं होगा. Like when you see the 10 cars in the shop, when you go for buying, one car you select. After that, you buy it. You don't worry about other things. You pay for it, you get registered, you bring home and then practice it and use it. हर चीज जिंदगी में ऐसे ही होता है कि नहीं? In the same way, the fixation of our upasana alambana is very essential. Else you get all the time disturbed, distracted from one to the other. Just like the worldly distraction, so to the distraction in spirituality also happens. Now, with all the authority, we have come to the conclusion, Om is our Upasana Alambana. Remember always, the Anubhava is beyond all the Upasanas, beyond all the Upasya Deva, beyond the Upasaka. Aham Brahmasmi Anubhava mein neither Om rahega, nor मैं हूँ, nor my effort of doing Upasana. That is our goal. But before that, to pull our life, our mind from thousands of distractions toward name and form, with names and forms, we are taking Om as Alamana and doing Upasana. बार बार इसलिए कह रहे हैं क्योंकि ओम का महिमा जानकर ओम को आलम्बन के रूप में लेना और ओम इज परब्रह्म alone, then how the upasana has to be done to have the clarity of it. Clear? Omiti Brahma, Omiti Idagam Sarvam. Are you fixed in that thought? Om is Mayalambana, Om is Brahma, Om is Idam Sarvam. This is the base. Now, from this basis, anything we have to do, only that we do, all of that we merge in Om. Beginning should be Om, middle should be Om, end should be Om. Om should be predominant in our life. Like that newly born child's mother, child is primary to her. No other thing. All through her day, her attention only on the child. Wonderful it is for her. Vatsalya. She is soaked in love for that child और दिन भर उसका ख्याल उसी का होता. To a professional doctor, throughout that is attention only on the patient, their disease and treatment. You understand? No other distraction. So too, we have to reach Parabrahma, we have to gather our scattered race, we need an Alambana, we have taken Om as Alambana, Om is our Upasya. Therefore, all the time we are in association with Om, all the time we are seeing it that everything is dissolved in Om, Om should remain. Like I told you, I am doing class starting from Om. Throughout the class, whenever possible, I remember Om. When the class is over, the class is merged in the Om. Om remains with me. This is called Om Upasana. Always Om. Entire physical body, pranamaya kosham, manomaya, सारा ओम के द्वारा percolate permeate होना चाहिए. That much when you do the upasana, what jadoo happens is all of that merges in Om. Why? Because all of that came from Om, sustained because we valued that. Now we devalued it by valuing the Om, therefore it dissolves in Om. Om dissolves in the deep meditation in Aham Brahmasmi Anubhati. And that's very sublime, very subtle, very beyond all the expressions of the words it is. That is something higher. Okay, Om iti Brahma, Om iti Idagam Sarvam. Now taking these two as the understandings, Om as an Alambana. Yesterday we saw and I told you to do the remaining things as homework and I'm sure you will not do. If you do it, you get realized of Brahma, you will never come to the class. I know for the sake of me to come to class regularly, you are not doing your sadhana and realizing. You know that. I know that. You are so kind and compassionate towards me. So, Omityetatanokrute hasmava abhihoshravayetyashravayande. Yesterday up to this we saw Omiti samani gayande. So the Guru said Om. Immediately the Samaveda students came and chanted the Samaveda mantra. The Samaveda mantra chanting is a part of the yajna. All the people who are involved in the yajna are reveling and cherishing in listening. Chanters are chanting. What is the position of the Guru? Guru's mind is where it is in Omkara only. He knows, he has ordered them to chant the Samaveda by saying Om, and every one of them are chanting the Samaveda mantra. But I know that entire Samaveda mantra is coming from Om only, staying in Om only, dissolving in Om only. Then after 1 hour chanting, the chanting is to be stopped for the next step to follow in the yajna. Therefore, even to stop that chanting, I as a guru order them as Om. Immediately they stop it. See what is happening here? Formality में जो outer actions करना है of ordering etc. Guru is doing. But heart in heart is always in Om only. Is it not? Like a musician? He plays all music, but heart in heart is tuned to the raga. He will never go out of that raga. Lyrics are coming, words are coming, gamakams are coming, but the raga is remembered. Is it not like a cricket player? He is batting, he is facing every ball, but his attention is on the run rate, required run rate, target, has to achieve it. Do you understand it? Everywhere there is a corner of the heart attached to. Here also, the Guru is always in Om. Is he aware of the world or not? Yeah, but not as separate from the Om. Which is he valuing? Is the Om or the world? Om only. Which is he ready to sacrifice? Om for the sake of worldly activity or the worldly activity for the sake of Om? He will sacrifice worldly activity for the sake of Om. He is not doing any yajna. is only in Om. But the yajna has to be done for the totality, for the disciple, for the ashram. Therefore, he is there seated physically. I'm talking about Brahma mainly. Among the four, Hota, Advaryu, Brahma, Udgata. Brahma here, in our case, we are the ones wherever we are. जहाँ जरूरत है काम करो, करने के टाइम ओम को ले जाओ, सब काम खत्म करके फिर से ओम में आके बैठो. जब कोई काम नहीं है तो ओम करते रहो. इट इज उपास. Om Ucharana, saying that Om is Parabrahma, saying that from Parabrahma Om came, saying that from the Om only entire world of names and forms came. This Manana Chintana should go on Nirantara Rupena till Om alone remains in us as substratum of everything, every Rupanam. Then the Om is nothing but Parabrahma. Never stop at the Om level. Go to the Parabrahma level every time because that is our goal. Clear? Now, Omiti Samani Gayanti told, Nirogum Shomiti Shastrani Shamsante. So, Samani Gayanti, we told you, any entertainment, Samagana is not entertainment, is the great divine truth explained. It's in the Vedanta, but in our Vyavahara, because this Yajna we are comparing with Vyavahara, in the Yajna, just like we did Om Upasana, we should do in the Om Upasana in the Vyavahara also. इस तरह दोनों को कंबाइन करके समझा रहे थे. From that standpoint, I am saying, wherever the Ganam is happening by others or us, it's only should start from Om, stay in Om, dissolve in Om. This is called Pranava Upasana. If you are fixed in wanting to do Pranava Upasana, if you are not fixed, all these rules don't apply. You are not made compulsory to do Om Upasana. If you make Om as your compulsory Upasana, then these are the things compulsory we have to do to make that Upasana perfect. If you take Rama as Upasya, you are Krishna, you are Devi, आप same rules वो नाम के लिए apply हो जाते, वो आलम्बनों के लिए apply हो जाते. I'm just telling. Now all that you drop. We are studying Om, we focus on Om. Om means, let us say, at least for the sake of study sake, time of study is our alambana fixed. बाकी लोग बाद में डिस्कस करके बदलना है तो बदल दो. इन द क्लास बिकॉज वी आर स्टडिंग दिस अष्टम अनुवाक विच इज ओम एज आलम्बना रूपास्य, उसी का हम बात करेंगे. सो ओम इति सामानि गायन्ते. एनीबडी सिंग इन दिस वर्ल्ड, every word is coming from Om, staying in Om, going back in Om. Let the ear listen to the lyrics, let the mind feel happy with the words, let the heart also soak in joy because the singing of that person is so beautiful. But let us not get lost in any one of them unduly. Then what? Remain in Om only. Know that all is coming from Om, going back into Om. Om here is becoming listener, Om there is becoming singer. From one Om only, the singer is bringing out the words and singing. The listener is listening all of them and dissolving all of them in the Om. But Swami is singing, you have to bajao thali in between, then you are a samsari. We are talking about Om Upasaka. This is what you are doing so far. ताली बजा रहे, कोई भी गाना गा रहे, अप्रिशिएट करे, पैसे फेंक रहे. This is anyway do. Everybody does it. That's what is samsara about it. We are dissolving everything in Om so that Om dissolves in the Parabrahma. We get that Parabrahma Anubhuti. Never forget the main goal. मेन गोल को फॉरगेट करने वालों को ही डाउट्स आते. जिसको जो बात मेनली अल्टीमेट गोल बता रहे, द वन हू रिमेंबर्स इट, ही नोस कि एवरीथिंग इज टोल्ड फॉर दैट सेक ओनली, विल नॉट हैव अ डाउट. Otherwise, what will be the doubt? Such a nice singing they are doing, we should appreciate. Instead of that, Om kya hai Swamiji? No, this question will come to the worldly fellow who is interested in singing, not the Upasaka. For the Upasaka, what is his goal? Every Vyavahara should dissolve in the Upasya. Then the Upasya in Parabrahma. Unless, therefore, somebody has a vision, Viveka and Vairagya, he will not be freeing his mind from the desire of indulgence in the world as a kama or bhoga. If that is not done, he will always be caught up in that type of thinking only. विवेक वैराग्य के बिना मन शांत साफ नहीं होता. Without the purity of that mana, always these questions, doubts come about. As to why upasana I should do, why I not enjoy this or that. Is it not? A beautiful garden of flowers or the fruits is seen. A Om Upasaka has gone there, a non Upasaka. The non Upasaka gets excited, gets selfies and photos and all that. He is so much, but the Upasaka knows that everything is coming from Om, merging in Om only. No, इन दोनों का मैच नहीं होता. This Om Upasaka is looking at everything as Om. The other fellow says, yeah, यहाँ भी तुम बाबा जी बन गए. छोटा सा, you enjoy this, he says. अरे महाराज इतने जन्मों से वही तो करते आ रहा हूँ मैं. Now I have to reach to my Parabrahma Tattva. I have to rise above the limitations. I have to rise above all the samsara, of this transmigration of the Janma, Marana, and in between all types of thoughts, the desires, the activities, karma phalas, bandhana. अरे बाबा कर करके मर रहा हूँ मैं थक गया हूँ. I want to be at peace with my own reality. For me, wherever you take, I'll go with you. But my attention is on my Upasya Deva Om. After seeing 2000 places around in 20 days, when I come back, Om only remains with me, not those places. That is called as Upasana. Understood? It is a necessary thing for quietening of the mind and transcending the mind later on to merge in Parabrahma. The one who's interested in the world, he'll have worldly thoughts only. Again, the same thing, no? Medaya pihitaha. लौकिक प्रज्ञा से ही परमात्मा ढक रहा है, ढक गए हैं. ये तो पढ़ रहे हैं हम ना शुरू से. Because लौकिक प्रज्ञा only, we are not allowed to enter into our Atma Prajna. Again, how can we give value to Laukika Prajna? You understand? If this Chintanam is not going all the time, we just slip back into world and worldliness and worldly desires, worldly entertainment, worldly enjoyments. That's what is happening. That will continuously happen till one listens for a few years to Vedanta, in which Parabrahma as the ultimate truth, reality, therefore goal is heard. पर ब्रह्म ही ट्रुथ है, वही रियलिटी है, इसलिए वही गोल होना चाहिए. इस बात को हजारों लाखों बार सुनकर इसमें जो बंदा स्ट्रांगली एस्टैब्लिश होता है, he only will understand the desires are obstructions. Therefore, to transcend the desires, he take the upasana alambana and does the upasana. The one who doesn't understand it, he will have very vagueness about sadhana. Therefore, he will only do as a formality outside, but his main life is only for worldliness. हम सब अभी ऐसे ही हैं. दुनियादारी ही इंपॉर्टेंट है हमको. न उपासना इंपॉर्टेंट है, न परब्रह्म इंपॉर्टेंट, क्योंकि पूरा दिल में बैठा नहीं है बात. और जिसको बैठ गया, you have to know the truth beyond everything and get liberated from limitation. Then he looks out for the alambana. Om is given. His entire day is soaked in upasana of Om. His vyavaharas are reduced. Any vyavahara he does, he dissolves all that in pranava. कर रहा है जो काम दिया जा रहा है. Like Jada Bharata in Bhagavad, he was doing whatever were given by his brothers, but he was never away from himself. He was told to carry the palanquin. He was carrying, but he was in his own self. He was taken for giving bali by those dacoits. He said, "Do that. I am in the self." देखा? This is called upasana. Staying in your own Om all the time, keeping everything in Om. Isn't it? Om alone is predominant. Om iti samani gayanti is in the Veda mantra or yajna. Samagana is going on. In our life, anywhere anybody is talking or singing, don't give value, importance to that. Beyond, appreciate them, acknowledge it, अच्छा है कहो, but don't miss your Om. ओम से आया, ओम में है, ओम में गया. ओम रिमेनेंस होना चाहिए. That's called pranava upasana. Next one, Ogam Shomiti Shastrani Shamsanti. All the Upasya Devatas in the Yajna are praised. That's called Shastrani Shamsanti. In the same way, yesterday we told, in life, anybody does good work. As a formality, praise them. But know that all that work has been done by the Omkara only through that equipment. For us, the person who did the work done by it, him, the beauty of the work done, the result that came out, the success, all those which are true, real for others. For us, all of them are expression of Omkara only. That is called Upasana. You do the appreciation. श्रुति किसी का भी आप प्रेस करो डिपेंडिंग ऑन रिक्वायरमेंट, but not missing Omkar, without missing Om. So, to anybody does your praise for various reasons, you understand that all that is of Om only. Don't claim that, then you will be separate from the Om as an ego individual. That is the samsara, that is the Maya. हमारा गोल परमात्मा है कि नहीं, हमारा आलम्बन ओंकार है, हमारा आलम्बन मैं नहीं हूं, मेरे लिए मैं आलम्बन हूं तो वो संसार हो गया. So that is the meaning of Ogam Shomiti Shastrani Shamsanti, to be practiced in the world. In the same way, Omityadvaryoho Pratigaram Pratigranati. Advaryu is taking the Pratigaram and passing on the Pratigaram to others. In our life also, throughout life, there will always be transactions where you are given something from somebody and you have to give it to somebody else. Okay? As an Advaryu, what is our yajnam there? Anybody is giving, the giver, the given thing, both are Om. Clear? Then you have to give to someone that thing, but you have to be in Om. So you are serving the sabji dal. Somebody gave it to you. So Omkara person gave Om sabji to you. You are offering that Om sabji to the Om fellow. Because Om is ultimate truth. But what you see, the dal, sabji, chawal, they are all vyavahar. In that only we are caught up, no? What we have to ultimately recognize, in and through entire Nama Rupa, what is subtly hidden is Parabrahma, which is reality, which is essential nature. On that everything is projected, taken as reality, we are caught up in that. For the eye, it is a dal. For the smell, it is a dal. For the mind, it is a loving item. For the intellect, it is a consumable good. But for the inquiry, it is nothing but Parabrahma. We have to reach to Parabrahma. That is the goal. याद रखना इसको, जिंदगी भर नहीं बोलना. सो ओगम शोमिति शस्त्राणि शगम संति ओमित्यध्वर्यो प्रतिगरम प्रतिगृणाति. बता दिया. देन नेक्स्ट वन ओमिति ब्रह्मा प्रसौति. Again the Brahma, the major main priest, prasauti, whatever the anugnya is giving, that is why saying Om only he is doing. Okay? Any information comes to us, any information sought from us. Whatever you have, you give it. Whatever they give, if it is required, you take it. But never ever compromise with Om. That's the meaning of Brahma doing the anugnya by uttering Om. It may be for the end of the Purnahuti ho, kuch bhi ho. You need not worry about now which is the step at what place. He is using use. He is using Omkara. Generally, we are understanding he is soaked in Om. He is not leaving the Om. Like the Dandi Sannyasi. What is the meaning? They are always supposed to hold the Danda. That is the Dandi Sannyasi. 24 घंटे रात में भी कहाँ रखते हैं, I don't know. So we are all Omkara sadhaka. Every time Om. So the steps which are explained in the Yajna Prakriya are explained to you. The corresponding related same type of activity in the Vyavahara also explained. Then in that Yajna, the Advarya and Brahma are submerging every activity in the Omkara. You and I also, while doing Yajna, we do the same. For us, every day, every activity is Yajna. In that also, like the Yajna, so many activities are supposed to do, we are practicing Pranava Upasana in that. So Samani Gayanti is very entertaining things. Shomiti Shastrani, Shagam Santi is the praise you receive or you have to give to others. Omitadhari Pratigaram Pratigrunati, taking and receiving, giving transaction. Omiti Brahma Prasauti is the final information given or the order given or anugnya is given or the report given by others taking. All of that Om, 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 Om. Then the last two are very important. What are they? Om iti brahmanaha pravakshannaha brahmopapnavaniti brahmaivopapnoti. In this way, see, this thought is exclusive, but we are telling it in continuation of the thing which we are said so far. Having this way done so many yajnas with Om as the alambana, A day comes where there is no more interest in the Dravya Yajna. Now we go to Jnana Yajna. In the Jnana Yajna, the Guru is teaching the Vedanta, you are listening. Or you are having the Vedanta Upanishad book, you are studying. Okay, no more Dravya Jnana. Jnana. In this also, knowing that the Guru is the expression of Omkara, the Upanishad Bhagavan, the Guru teaching is Omkara, the Grantha in front of me is Omkara, and I am going to be helped by the Omkara, both in understanding the Vedanta taught in the Upanishad and the experience of that Vedanta Brahma is by the blessing of Om. With this attitude, this person has done and he has reached it. ओमिति ब्राह्मणः प्रवक्षन् आह ब्रह्मोपाप्नवानि इति. So he started the study of Vedanta with the beginning of Om, and he has such a strong faith. What? The Vedanta came from Om, and the Om will reveal the Siddhantika Jnana of the Vedanta to me. That is the meaning of Omiti Brahmana Pravakshan Naha Brahmopapnavani. Brahma Upapnavani. Brahma Upapnavani, I told you 2 days back, कि theoretical Vedantic knowledge I will understand, practically I will meditate and experience. So, that faith is called as Brahma Upapnavani. Brahma मैं पाऊंगा, Brahma मुझे मिलेगा. Upapnavani means my paunga. So with the faith in Om, that he says, ki I am studying the Vedanta which has come from Om, I'll understand. With the faith in Om, again he says, I will experience also the Brahma Tattva, which is the theme of Upanishads. And to the surprise, he was so much faithful in the Omkara and his pursuit of theoretical study, pursuit of the meditation, that Brahma eva apnoti. The Shruti Mata is saying, yeah, with this faith when he did, he really has achieved Brahma. Everybody achieved, you will also achieve. Brahmopapnavani is before starting to do sadhana faith. And with faith when he did it, no, faith on Omkara, Brahma eva apnoti means what? He will reach to Brahma only. Brahma apnoti eva. Definitely will reach to Brahma. Saha eva Brahma apnoti. Only the one in this who had faith in Oma has reached Brahma and will reach Brahma. This is called a Pranava Upasana. Throughout the day we have to be in that. No other thing should be important to us. Never ever have any question regarding importance of anything else. It should go away from our heart once for all, knowing that all that is mithya, maya, delusory, that is what we were so far living in so many lives. That's called as bondage. इसलिए कह रहे हैं ना ब्रह्म सत्यम जगन मिथ्या रूपी फर्स्ट स्टेप ऑफ विवेक इज नॉट बॉर्न एवरी स्टेप विल हैव अ डाउट बट वाई शुड आई डू साधना वाई शुड आई सीख ओंकार वाई शुड आई रीक पर ब्रह्म दुनिया में सब कुछ ठीक ठाक है ना अरे यार मतलब इसको विवेक वैराग्य नहीं हुआ The one who has never done vivek and never got vairagya, you can never convince him about spirituality. कितना भी बोल कुत्ते का धूम इस दिमाग फिर से दुनियादारी में जाएगा. He himself will have to think and understand the life which I am living is only effortful, temporary, delusory. It is not the goal. Goal is something reality which is permanent. That is called a Paramatma in the Vedanta Upanishad. I should go for it. ऐसा जिसने नहीं सोचा उसको कुछ भी कहो वो ऊपर ऊपर सुनेगा. He'll not take it seriously. What he'll take seriously is immediately after the class, the breakfast, the coffee, tea, वही लेगा वो. He will not take Vedanta serious. Because vairagya nahi hua. Why Vivekananda? But imagine the one who has got vairagya for the world and worldliness. What will he do after the class? He will not get up from the asana for next 20-30 minutes. He will only be in the deep contemplation of what is taught, what is learned. Only when somebody calls very hungry, then he'll go. Finish the 10 minutes khana, again goes back to his own place of sitting, does contemplation. The one who has vairagya of the world and deep desire to know the truth, this is the lifestyle of him. ऐसा वाला lifestyle हमको नहीं है का अर्थ क्या हुआ? Neither Viveka Vairagya we have, nor the desire to know the truth. Means what? Lot of listening we have to do Viveka and Vairagya. Then only we'll be fit for it. That's the meaning of Bhuyeva Tapasa Brahma Jijignasasva. Go and do tapasya, go and do tapasya. What Guru told to the Shishya in the portion which we chanted, the idea is this only. Same thing said in Kena Upanishad. What is that? He says, Mimam Samevate. You have a lot more to think, lot more to contemplate about what is real and unreal, what is binding and liberating, what is to be desired and to be given up. यार सोचो बिना दिमाग जब तक नहीं लगाते, like we saw in the chanting of Rama Gita yesterday, so thoroughly in 7-8 class slokas Sri Rama tells Lakshmana कि बेटा जब तक तुम खुद के इंक्वायरी कॉन्टेम्पलेशन में नहीं आओगे, you will never understand the world is a cause of bondage. Without that, you will never have vairagya for the world. Without that, you will never have the thinking about therefore what gives me liberation. You will never understand Brahma Tattva, you will never value it, you will never go for it. Very clearly, Bhagavan talks in a Rama Gita about discussion about the importance of one's own personal, every individual's inquiry, vicharana. For Vairagya here, for Mumukshutva. मैं आपको कह दूं तो मेरा हो जाएगा, आपका नहीं होता. आप मुझे कहो तो आपका होगा, मेरा नहीं. मुझे आपसे सुनकर खुद को करना है. पहले तो नतीजा पे आ जाना चाहिए. What is natija? Final thing. What you want? The world or Parabrahma? Both cannot be together. If you want world, then you have to forget Parabrahma. That's what we are doing so many lies. No, I want Parabrahma, then you have to kick the world. If not, तो फंसते रहेंगे. कन्विंस होने के लिए कि परब्रह्म इज अ मुक्ति, इसी के लिए ज्यादा टाइम लगता. लेकिन कन्विंस होने के लिए कि कौन सा साड़ी खरीदना, उसके लिए टाइम. वंस यू आर डिसाइडेड, 2 मिनट में पे कर दिया, पैक कर दिया, घर ले गए. The unique special sari I purchased. She feels so happy and wears and goes to the program next day. Everybody is wearing the same thing. All of them bought in same shop. They said, fellow said, ये सिर्फ आपके लिए बना है, ऐसा किसी को बेचा नहीं, मैं आपके लिए रखा हूँ. Everybody took it. Convinced एक बार, then there's no difficulty. All problem is because of non-conviction. That is because of non-thinking. Why we are not thinking? Because we are sentimental, we are emotional, we are forced by vasanas, we are forced by desires, we are obliging the world of people and things when they invite us. So much of khachra is in us, therefore we are not able to think, contemplate, and come out. Even the बीती जाए उमरिया, एक बंदा 30, 35, 40, 45 साल तक है, तो we can justify कि he is so much important for him to involve in the world for his own survival, sustenance and obligation. अभी 60 साल के बाद भी, is it not? You have 60 years, which is almost over. Don't calculate that 100 साल जीना है, इसके पहले 60 हो गया, मतलब और 40 बचा है. 60 के बाद every day is a bonus. Still caught up in non-thinking, still caught up in emotion, in the worldliness. Please, once in a while, if you don't think like this and feel ashamed about ourselves, we will never have right thinking and right vairagya. Without that, all you are coming to the class is no difference between the chair in which you are sitting and you. कुर्सी में और कुर्सी पे बैठे वाले बंदे में कोई फर्क नहीं. बिकॉज ही हैज नॉट गॉट थिंकिंग और वैराग्य. कुर्सी पे ऐसे ही रहते, डेली बैठती हो भी क्लास में, हम भी वैसे. You have to think, like I have to think for myself. How long I will give lecture? I should reduce it. I must go for my meditation. Nobody will tell me. So to each one of us have to think, how long I will be in the worldliness. एक एक काम जो दुनियादारी का टाइम को कंज्यूम कर रहा है, माइंड को कंज्यूम कर रहा है, टेंशन को कंज्यूम कर रहा है. दैट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ पल में परलय होएगी, बरोरी करोगे कब. फर्स्ट लाइन इज नॉट इम्पॉर्टेंट. काल करे तो आज करो से अब, दैट इज व्यवहार. Our attention is second line. पल में परलय होएगी. In moment's time, everything will end. When will you do this inquiry and vairagya and inquiry and realization? नहीं करना है क्या? तो कितना फंसे हुए हैं. And what is added to that is our all कमजोरी. मेरे से नहीं हो सकता, मैं नहीं कर सकता हूँ, या कुछ नहीं काम किया तो मैं ऐसा ही हूँ, अगली जिंदगी में देखेंगे. These are all stupid nonsenses only. मूर्खता. All that has to be replaced. Ki I am devoted to my guru. My guru is guiding like that. I will follow him, and he is telling him for not his benefit, it is for me. With these things, the earlier nonsense has to replace. But we don't do that. पहले तो गुरु भक्ति है ही नहीं है, शास्त्र भक्ति है ही नहीं है, भगवत भक्ति है ही नहीं है. भक्ति है तो उनके बात हम मानते हैं, नॉट कि उनको कहते कि हमारे बात मानो. जिंदगी भर हम सबको गुरु को मनाते ही हैं, गुरु के बात नहीं मानते. We are all pseudo disciples. We are only pseudo seekers. We have to accept it. We don't have genuinity. We are all, क्या कहते हैं ना, बेरुपिया, दो चेहरे वाले. We are like a snake with two tongues. We have to realize this mistake. Very dangerous mistake. The amount of loss that mistake is doing for us, we can't even imagine. One side, Guru and God is giving us knowledge continuously. Other side, we are not receiving anything. 3 दिन में 10 बार खा रहा है, लेकिन कुछ भी शरीर पे नहीं जा रहा. That fellow still पतला दुबला, no immunity. What nonsense is that? Is it not? जो खा रहा है उसको अपना देह को बनाना है ना. Same is with us. All spirituality we listen, 2-2, 4-4 क्लास है, बट कोई फर्क ही नहीं पड़ता जिंदगी में. सोचना पड़ता है. Okay. Now the total thought is what? Pranava Upasana means chanting of Om. Okay. Knowing the authority of Om to be Brahma Tattva as Alambana for Mahat and Para. Thereafter, throughout the day's activities, everything we should dissolve in Om. What should always remain with there for us is Om. Shuru Om se Shubha. दिन भर ओंकार, रात सोने के टाइम में ओम. This is called Pranava Upasana. Do it for 10 years, 12 years. Minimum. तभी जाकर all the आदतें, वासनाएं सब खत्म होकर सिर्फ ओम रह जाता है. Then what is Om? Om is nothing but the Parabrahma. Om is a sound. Before two Omkaras, what is there? Is me, the pure conscious Brahma Tattva. It is easy to contemplate at that time and reach it out. So today I am declaring that Pranava Upasana we have done completely the 8th Anuvaka. I will not talk about it tomorrow. Straight away we take the 9th Anuvaka with the Sambandha or Anubandha Bhashyam. We have spent good time at least trying to understand. Then if you listen these 4-5 days talks once thrice, more clarity will come. With that, now decide first of all, do you want to reach Parabrahma? Yes. Then you have to dissolve the world. Yes. Then you need an alambana. Yes. Om is alambana. Yes. Do the Om Upasana in this way. अब फिर से नहीं पूछना स्वामी प्रणव का उपासना कैसा करना है. प्रणव ध्यान to reach to Parabrahma is done by merging the I in O, U in Ma in Amatra. Okay? But the Upasana Pranava for dissolving the world is done how? According to Mandukya, in the Auma, Jagra Swapna Sushupti, merge karo. According to the Taittiriya Upanishad, whatever the thing you do it as yajna, and beginning, middle, end, like the Brahma and Adhvaryo. Everything is starting from Om, staying in Om, dissolving Om. Om के अलावा कुछ बोलो ही मत. Reach to that stage. Om के अलावा कुछ करो ही मत. दूसरों को करने दो. Everything is Om, 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 Om. You go to the office, from the Om only you come out and do the work. And in the Om only you dissolve the work. And उससे ज़्यादा उस काम का कोई मतलब ही नहीं है. अरे जन्म मरणम का ही कोई मतलब नहीं है, तो इन बिटवीन जो भी हो रहा है उसको क्या मतलब है. लोगों को मतलब है जो दुनियादारी वाले. वी आर स्पिरिचुअल, हमारा मतलब परमात्मा से. Understand? The ones especially who are retired, to fully retire from every outer inner thing and discover the self in us through the Om as Alambana. Clear? Think about it more. Any doubts, questions, you can put it in the WhatsApp. I'll reply it. Okay. Thank you. Before conclusion, once more we chant this mantra. Om Omiti Brahma Omiti Dagum Sarvam Omityetadanu Protehasmava Apyo Shravayetya Omiti Samani Gayante Ogum Shomiti Shastrani Shagum Sante ओमित्यध्वर्यो प्रतिगरं प्रतिगृणाति ओमिति ब्रह्मा प्रसौति ओमित्यग्निहोत्रमनुजानाति ओमिति ब्राह्मण प्रवक्षन्नाह ब्रह्मोपाप्नवानीति ब्रह्मैवोपाप्नोति ओमिति अग्निहोत्रमनुजानाति. This sentence almost every day we missed it. Sorry, oh Lord. So, Agnihotraka Anugnya, the Brahma is giving. Dalo Biyavtiya, Dalo the ghee. And finally, the Purnahuti Dalo. All that Anujanati means Anugnya Dena by saying Om. Anugnya is given by the Brahma by saying Om for the Agnihotram. Dalne ke liye. In short, it can be a summary of what was said earlier. In this way, the Brahma guides all of them in doing the Agnihotra Yajna. He gives permission to them by chanting Om. He says Dravya Yajna Khatamva. Now the Jnana Yajna. That also Om iti Brahmana Pravakshannaha Brahmopapnavaniti. Then Brahmayeva Apnoti. It's a beautiful mantra, beautiful topic. And each of us should like it, and from now onward, without any hesitation, keep on starting to do the pranava upasana. Daily om mantra उच्चारण करते रहना. ओम 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 पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ओम शांति शांति शांति. हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. परमऋषिभ्यो नमः. परब्रह्मणे नमः. श्रुतिमात्रे नमः. वेदव्यासवैशम्पायनाग्निवल्क्याद्य शंकराचार्यादिगुरुभ्यो नमः. अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः. ओम तत्सद्ब्रह्मार्पणमस्तु. Wonderful. Ninth Anuvaka is very crucial, important to how slowly lift ourselves from worldliness to spirituality by striking balance between both of them. I request and pray to the God and Gurudev to speak in such a way that this becomes another very crucial message or information for all of us to be practical on our spiritual path. Thank you. We are concluding. 10 minutes we'll spend in our Vidura study. Oh, remember throughout the day Lord Krishna and Omkar. Om